dreamers and doers. This is Leslie Lawrence. It's so great to be with you today. So, behind me, let's talk about it. Belize. I know, wait a minute. I think you were expecting Nicaragua, but I left Nicaragua the end of last week and made my way to Belize. Actually been visiting friends, catching up with some colleagues, and now attending a conference that I'm going to be speaking at. So very excited about that. But with me, who knows? Leslie at large is definitely on the loose. So it's going to be a busy first part of the year. I'm excited to share some of my travels and experiences with you. But I just wanted to share a little bit about my background so you can get to know me, how I ended up in Nicaragua by way of Belize. So I was in a 20-year corporate career in the US. I'm a born and raised Texas girl. I was going to say a short stint, but a rather long period I spent in Nashville, Tennessee. Went back home to Texas, things going great. And I went to Belize in March of 2018. Like a lot of people that go there and vacation there and visit, there's something magical about the island. It's a very vibrant community. The people are simply amazing. And the lifestyle is very different than what I was used to. I was in that corporate rat race is what I call it. And a lot of people are currently there. They understand what I'm talking about. I was working the long hours. I had a beautiful home, had the Corvette and the boat and all the things. But guess what? I didn't get to enjoy them because I worked all the time. So I had limited time with family and friends, even though they lived, within 30 minutes to an hour of me. And I went to this island. I swam with some sharks and some stingrays, and I experienced what I consider just pure joy. And I went home, told the family and friends, that's it. I'm moving to an island in Belize. That specific island, Ambergris Caye. So I literally sold most of my belongings, donated a lot of things, packed some bags. At the time, I had one rescue dog, Lizzie Lou, and she made the trip with me to Belize. She quickly adapted to being an island dog. It's a very dog-friendly community. So she'd jump in the golf cart with me and off we would go. Golf carts are the mode of transportation on Ambergris Caye. So we had a great life there for many years. But this year, it was life changes, time for a new adventure, time to explore a new country. So now Lizzie Lou, and then my other rescue from Belize, my Belizean pot licker, Livy Love. I know it gets really confusing in our house. Leslie Lee, Lizzie Lou, Livy Love. But hey, we like it. So they both made the trip with me to Nicaragua. We live in a community called Grand Pacifica, which is about 2,500 acres on the Pacific, 3.5 miles of beachfront, 9-hole golf course, beautiful community. I tell people, I didn't know anything about Nicaragua. What you hear, from a long time ago and some of the politics and things, but I really didn't know anything about the country. I will say it's a very diverse country. I have enjoyed, being here, trying to get out and explore the different places. There's so many more towns for me to visit, and even the Corn Islands on the Caribbean side I want to explore. So definitely we'll have some fun adventures, and I can't wait to share all of those with you. This first part of the year, I am on the move a lot. So I'm in Belize this month. I'm headed to Panama in February, and then hopefully on to Honduras and even El Salvador at some point. So hopefully I'll get to share those adventures with you as well. But I really just want to spend the time that we have together, really sharing my personal experiences. I know for me, when I was getting ready to make the move, I had a lot of questions. And I know, if you're curious or dreaming like I was and wondering about moving overseas, you have a lot of questions as well. So I want to hear from you. I want to know those questions. They're probably very similar to mine. You know, one, how do you do it? How do you decide where the, best fit for you is going to be and for your family? If you have pets, can I take my pets? How do I take my pets? You want to know that it's safe. I am obviously single female, have my 2 dogs, but safety obviously is a concern. You want to understand, if it's English speaking, if it's not, can you get by? Nicaragua, guess what? They speak Spanish. Everyone's like, Leslie, do you know Spanish? So let's say I had Spanish in high school. I had Spanish for 2 semesters in college. But guess what? That was a long time ago. So I always loved the language. I, at one time, even considered being a Spanish teacher. Little tidbit for you there. But I have not spoke the language in probably 20 something years. So for me, I can read and kind of understand, but I think I'm more so intimidated speaking because I haven't spoke the language in so long. But I definitely love being in the country now. And, once you immerse yourself in it, I'm trying to relearn the language. I'm using Duolingo. Highly recommend getting the app and just jump in. But yeah, you can get by. You can get by in a Spanish speaking country if you don't know Spanish. So come with an open mind, a willingness to learn, and again, start with an app, start learning. You get there and you will find, again, the people in Nicaragua are so helpful. They're friendly. The safety is not a factor. I feel completely safe there. But, let me hear your questions. Again, we probably have very similar questions, concerns. People want to know about healthcare options. So we can go through all of those. So we'll kind of each time I'll talk about some of my experiences, some of the funny stories. You go to these new areas and yes, you're in paradise. When I first moved to Belize, I had a lot of funny stories. First of all, I'd never lived on an island before, so that comes with its own unique things. But one of the first things and one of the funny stories when I first moved to Belize was the geckos. Are you familiar with geckos? I was not. I'd never been around geckos. But Belize, Nicaragua, you're going to have geckos I said in and around your home. So you have to learn to love the geckos. Welcome them in your home. Apparently they eat the bugs and things you don't want. But when I first got to Belize, I was in my bedroom one night and I heard this chirping noise. And I kept thinking, what is going on? Is there a bird? I thought there was a bird trapped in my bedroom, like in the walls. I was so concerned. I was thinking, oh my gosh, how did a bird get in the wall? I didn't know what to do. I was like, who do I call? It went on all night long, chirping, chirp, chirp, chirp. I was like, what is going on? So the next morning, my niece who was staying with me, I made a comment about how concerned I was. I thought there was a bird trapped in my walls and I didn't know how to get it out. Well, she started laughing because guess what? She heard chirping at night too, but she flipped on the light and she saw the gecko. And guess what? She was not a fan. So she immediately started Googling, trying to figure out exactly what it was and all of this. So she knew that geckos chirp and they come out at night. So mystery solved. There was no bird, but that was my first experiences with geckos. Here in Nicaragua, you get apparently, you get your creepy crawlies. Every country has their own unique creepy crawlies, I guess. So we have scorpions. That's right. I had a couple of scorpions when I first moved to Nicaragua, and I was a little surprised by that, but it's okay. I've managed to deal with the scorpions. There's something that's like similar to a tarantula. I think they have a different name for it, but I've had a couple instances with those. Again, not the biggest fan, but it comes with the territory, and that's just part of it. So again, I'm going to share all the stories, all the fun adventures. I do like to get out in the community. I am definitely not one of those expats that, kind of stays in that little expat bubble, if you want to call it that. I do like to get out in the local community and meet people and go check things out. I've been to a Nicaraguan rodeo a couple of times. Now, of course, I'm a Texas girl, so I've been to rodeos all my life, but let me just tell you, they do it a little bit differently in Nicaragua. So I'll pull together some footage and some videos and pictures of some of my adventures so you can really get a feel what it's like, just your day in and day out life in Nicaragua. And again, when I go to some other countries, I definitely will take you along for that journey as well. So that's all for today, but look forward to seeing you soon.